Welcome back, students. Today we are going to study another topic, that is motivation process. We have already studied the buying process, but let's see how motivation process happens. If you look at the particular this flowchart, so model of the motivation process. So first comes the unfulfilled needs, wants, and desires. So whenever there will be a need that we have studies in consumer behavior process, need comes first, then information search happen, then he will go for evaluation alternatives, then he will select the alternative, and then he will purchase the product, and post purchase evaluation happens. So in between that, how actually the process happens with the motivation. So first we'll look at unfulfilled needs and wants and desires. So obviously these creates tension in the mind of the consumer, and which drive him, and according to that drive he starts behaving. So this behavior comes in the might be a previous learning also, or even it come as a cognitive process also. So once the tension arises in the consumer mind, then he starts searching for the information. So he will search for the alternatives. So then he will go according to whatever his basis of evaluation he evaluate. Then he will select an alternative. Then he will do the purchase decision. So once he purchase decision, so he will might be his goal or need fulfillment happens. So according to the his motivation, he will set some goal or need fulfillment or something. He will fix according to his behavioral aspect also. So once he purchase the product, so if the goal or need fulfillments, then obviously there will be a tension reduction in the consumer's mind. So that will lead to the fulfillment of his need, want, and desire, and he will be satisfied with this. So ultimately, the process ends. If the tension is not reduced, then again it will goes to the tension. So again it drives. Again learning happens, cognitive process happens. Then again the behavior of the consumer comes up. Then again goal or need fulfillment will come to the picture. So the after purchasing the product, if the goal or need is fulfilled, then he will be satisfied, the tension will be reduced. So next moving, the arousal of motives. So arousal of any particular set of needs at a specific moment in time may be caused by internal stimuli found in the individual's physiological condition, by emotional or cognitive process, or by stimuli in outside environment. So it can be a physiological arousal, the first one, or it might be an emotional arousal, or it might come through cognitive arousal and environmental arousal. So these arousals will create the motives. So let's see one by one. The first one is physiological arousal. So bodily need at any on specific moment in time are based on the individual physiological condition at the moment. If you see the example, a drop in blood sugar, if the blood sugar level is going down, or a stomach contractions will trigger awareness of a hunger need. This is all felt by all the consumers, or even you also, you have gone through this particular experience. So if you start feeling some drop in the sugar level in your stomach, or stomach start contraction, so you will you feel that you need a food and you are hungry. Now moving to the emotional arousal. So sometimes daydreaming results in the arousal. So obviously in young age or adult, this happens. Even in kids, it happens. So this daydreaming, or you can say autistic thinking, or stimulation of latent needs. So people who are bored or who are frustrated in trying to achieve their goals are often engage in daydreaming, in which they imagine themselves in all sorts of desirable situations. For example, you're daydreaming that you want to become a bodybuilder, you want good muscles and abs. So that is your daydreaming comes. So that will lead to join a gym or search on internet how to exercise, how to get abs, what products to be used, what machinery is required. So this creates some situation. Or if you look at example, a young man who may spend her free time in internet single chat room. So if you are feeling that daydreaming, I need some girlfriend or boyfriend. So obviously you will start using some chat apps. You can say Azar app, or some other apps are available. So that is an for an example. So moving to next, the cognitive arousal. So sometimes random thoughts can lead to cognitive awareness. So if you look at an advertisement that provides reminders of home might trigger instant hearing to speak with one's parents. So if you look at telecom industry, how they telecommunication industry or telecom industry, how they do the advertisement, you are not far away. You can speak anywhere, anytime, at any place with very less prices. So these all create speaking with the parents. So that is sounds like cognitive arousal. So if you look at environment arousal, this is again one of the important one. The set of need and individual experiences at particular time are often activated by specific cues in the environment. Without these cues, the needs might remain dormant. For example, so 8 o'clock news, the sight or smell of bakery goods, fast food commercials on television, all these may arouse the need for food. Obviously, you have experienced this. You might have gone through this experience. So everyone is aware about this environmental arousal. Next comes the new cell phone model display in the store window. Once you look going on the road and you see that there is a display on mobile phone, so that makes you environmental arousal. So that's why this all happens like display on the you can say if you look at bakery how they display, if you look at mobile shops, clothes shops, so that will create some arousal in you, and this happens because of the environment. So moving further, let's study about the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So Maslow's hierarchy is one of the famous theory we study in so many aspects. So let's understand here. Now, basically, the Maslow hierarchy starts with biological and physiological needs. Basically, what happens in biological and physiological need is we need food, sleep, and water. So when it comes to safety side, so we need security, health, finance. We need a home. We need good hospitals. We are aware about health, and we require security of the job. We can say security of our life. Now coming to the that these two, safety and biological and physiological, are comes under basic needs. Now moving to psychological needs, we comes under law or belonging or esteem. If you look at law or belonging, friendship, intimacy, family connection that every person requires one after the safety. So if you look at esteem one, so we need a respect in the society, status in the society, a recognition in the society, or a strength and self-esteem we want. Once we fulfill this, then comes the self-fulfillment needs. That is nothing but self-actualization stage. So in this, meeting one's full potential in life, different for every person. This is the highest level of the need of hierarchy stated by Maslow's hierarchy of need. That here comes the end of the any need, that is self-actualization. So here it's all comes about the self-fulfillment need. Now, if we see an example over here, just talking about a car example, application to the marketing of the cars. So if we look at physiological needs and safety needs, the cars that are used for basic transportation, economy models such as Kia or Proton. Okay, if you look at in Indian market, we can say Quid, we can say Maruti, Kia. So these are just okay. If you look at next process, uh, safety even, the car models that feature excellent safety features like side impact, advanced warning system, Volvo position on safety. Its tagline is Volvo for life. So this is how marketing is done by the Volvo for particular safety and needs. So if we hit also, we are tested tough. In Indian market, if you see the Mahindra and Mahindra is one of the toughest car manufacturer or SUV manufacturer, and they advertise on that basis. Coming to the esteem needs, social needs, and self-actualization or needs, cars models that exude opulence and luxury. Example, BMW, or you can say Mercedes-Benz also. So the ultimate driving machines. So everywhere the usage is car, but the brand changes according to the need of hierarchy. The advertisement changes and the product changes. Now, again, implication or application of the Maslow's hierarchy of need in marketing. If you see, if you see biological and physiological needs, wife or child, abuse helplines. So there are helplines which are used for these purpose. So next is social security benefits and Samaritans and roadside recovery. So just an example. Looking at safety needs, home security products, alarm, okay, safety, car safety, house and contents insurance, and life assurance schools. So that fall under safety needs. Now coming to the belongingness and love needs, dating and matching making services, that is plenty of available, chart lines, clubs and membership societies. Then comes the McDonald's family theme, like the old style Oxo stock cube ads. So these target on the basis of belongingness and love needs. Coming to the esteem needs, obviously cosmetics, fast cars, home improvements, luxury, you can say, furniture, fashion clothes, drinks, lifestyle products and services. So these type of all products fall under the esteem needs and how the marketers use it for marketing purpose. Now the next comes the self-actualization needs. If you they can open an university in the name of them, and that's about it. So little else in mainstream media, because only 2% of the population are self-actualizers. So they are very less in numbers. So they don't constitute a very big part of the mainstream market. So they are very less. So even advertisers don't put much focus on this because market is very less. Now moving further to McGuire's psychological motives. So another model which is developed by McGuire. So he comes up with 4 points. One is the cognitive preservation motive, cognitive growth motives. So two falls under cognitive. And third part comes under affective growth motive and affective preservation motives. So let's see them. So when it comes to the cognitive preservation motives or needs, so first, there are total 16 things happens. So if you look at first one, that is consistency. So it says the need for internal equilibrium or balance. So that particular need fall under, that consistency has to be maintained. Now causation, the need to determine who or what causes the things that happens to us. So which is making cause in the need. Next comes the categorization, the need to establish categories or mental partition that provide frames for reference for different things. And fourth comes the cues in the cognitive preservation. That comes the need or observable cues or symbol that enable us to infer what we feel and know. If I talk about cues, if you see the Reebok, if you see Nike, if you see Puma or Audi, these brand logos and these signs, so automatically you will get some feel towards that. So that is the cue comes, herd effect. Okay. And next comes the cognitive growth motives or needs. If you look at first one is independence. So the need for a feeling of self-governance or self-control. So that comes under the cognitive growth and it is independence. And coming to the novelty, the need for variety and differences. So obviously a person seeks a variety of things and differentiation in the product. Next comes teleological, the need to achieve desired outcomes or end states. So every human being or a consumer go through this. Next is utilitarian, the need to learn a new information to solve the problems of the consumer. So that fall under utilitarian. Now moving further to coming to the affective preservation motives or need. First is tension reduction. So the need to reduce the stress, that is an affective preservation. Next comes self-expression, the need to express self-identity to others, who we are, what we are, and that fall under self-expression. Next comes the ego defense, the need to defend or protect our identities or egos. We have to put our maintain a status or identity in the society. Reinforcement, the need to act in such a way that others will reward us in manner of a recognition or in matter of happiness they recognize as, oh yes, that comes as a part. So now coming to the growth motives in affective, or you can say need, first is assertion. So in assertion, the need to increase self-esteem. Okay. And in affiliation, the need to develop mutual satisfying relationship with the others. So this matters a lot with the human or consumer. Now comes the identification. So need to adopt new roles in the life or in a human behavior. Modeling, the need to base behaviors on those of others. So these are the 16 different types which are divided into 4 parts about Mager's physiological, I guess, psychological motives, and one is affective, and another one is cognitive motives. According to this, the consumer reacts. So thank you very much for the